Okay, so we went on from that initial underground launch, and I launched product launch formula. Eventually, became a great success. Sold many, many millions of dollars of product launch formula. Many, many success stories. This is just a tiny fraction. I stopped counting when we got to $130 million in launches. I probably shouldn't have, because I'm sure it's much closer to $200 or $300 million from my product launch formula owners. Obviously, stuff works. Eventually, I did sell Dan Kennedy, the Glazer Kennedy organization. They came to me. And they hired me. I coached them through a launch. I coached StomperNet through a launch. I coached Chefrin through multiple launches. Alex Mandosian, one after another of these, launch after launch. The demand is just off the charts. And as mentioned earlier, they want to keep on rehiring me. Now, one of the things, few months ago, I went to this event called SANG. It's called Speakers and Authors Networking Group. And SANG was like all these bigwig speakers and authors and people, and I got invited to this thing, and I went to it, and the weirdest thing happened. Like all these people that are famous, like Les Brown and I think like Jack Canfield and Robert Allen, all these people. I bought their books are on my bookshelf. These guys, like, they knew who I was. And they came up to me and they're like, "Hey, Jeff," and I'm like, "Yeah, who are you?" "Oh, you're so and so," and they wanted me to do launches for them. So we've been doing these launches, these 1 or 2 launches a year that we've been working on and helping people out. And there's always a lot of demand, and I knew that demand was out there, but it was sort of in this internet marketing space is where I sort of specialize, is helping Stomper and Chefrin and that. But I didn't realize there was all these other people. And then I went to this real estate thing, like a real estate investing seminar, and all those people knew who I was. All the publishers and the players in that space, the business owners, they knew me. I didn't. Who knew? And they all wanted me to do launches. And it sang all these famous authors. Tony Robbins wants me to do a launch for him. And I'm sitting off in the mountains, like doing my 1 or 2 launches a year. And I knew there was this big demand in the internet marketing space, but I didn't know there was this much, much bigger thing. And this is only like January where it really sunk in with Sang. So that's when I decided, we got to do this. I have to teach people how to do this, because I am not about creating this huge machine, a huge company. That's not my gig. I'm out playing tennis, and I'm out going mountain biking, and I'm out going kayaking. So I'm not, I've got the skeleton crew. I'm not about building a big organization, but I'm like, there's this demand out there. It's insane for me. It helps my business if I have people that I can refer all this demand to. It helps me. It helps me sell more product launch formula. It helps me get those monster clients. Now, the math behind the opportunity is really what's amazing. Is because we'll get into the selling of this a lot. You selling your services to a client. We're going to talk a lot about that. But the math is what makes it all work. It's because you're going to be value-based selling. And if you can do a launch that does, hundreds, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands, or millions, it's easier to charge a lot of money if you have value-based selling as opposed to hourly-based. Hourly-based selling there's no future in it. It's a job. So we're going to be talking about value-based selling. So that's what makes this all work. Is the math behind this is that the launch formula is so powerful that the results you're going to get are so powerful that then you can turn around and charge a lot of money for those services. Now, we have people in this room that have already been doing this, that have had great success. I mentioned Ray Edwards already. Then we have Chris Haddad in the back. Somewhere out here is Brandon, who I haven't met yet. Brandon, where are you at? Brandon has a great story. We'll get to that, but he's basically had some health challenges where he had some really major medical bills that came through on a weekly basis that he had to be paying for those bills every week, like thousands of dollars. And he was sitting there basically with product launch formula. I think he bought Mass Control too. Sitting there with product launch formula, and that's all he had. And actually, that might be an exaggeration. He's probably got more than, I know you guys. You guys don't just buy stuff from me. So and basically without having the background that you're going to get and the skills you're going to get, he's found clients and made a fortune.